Hi there! In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 3 different ways to start an LLC in North Carolina. But more important than that, I'm going to share crucial information that's going to help keep your new business safe and protected. So if you are not familiar with terms such as commingling funds, piercing the corporate veil, or registered agent, don't worry because I'm going to go through it all, but just know these terms are really important and you're going to understand how they impact your LLC by the end of this video. The first way to start your North Carolina LLC is to go to the North Carolina Secretary of State website. You can find the link for the state site and any resources mentioned in the description below. Once you create an account, you can go through the steps there to get your LLC set up. As you'd expect, the state website is not the prettiest or the easiest thing to navigate, but there are no fees involved except for the $127 state filing fee, which includes a $2 online processing fee as of 2022. There is no way around that fee. You are going to have to pay that fee if you go direct through the state or an online legal tool or through an attorney. The pros of using a state site are that there are no markups or upsells. The downside is that they're just not laid out well, making the registration process way more confusing than it needs to be. One of the other downsides of the state site is that they do not help you keep your LLC compliant because the site lacks the ability to remind you of important updates and renewal reminders. I'll explain this further, but first let's just talk about what an LLC actually is so that you can understand how to maintain it properly. A lot of people think that there's this tax advantage to having an LLC over having a sole proprietorship, but actually there isn't. So the advantage of an LLC is the name itself. It helps to limit your liability. So imagine your business and all the assets. This could be office, computer, business bank accounts, whatever. Now on the personal side, you might have a home, a vehicle, your personal bank account. So what an LLC does is it's drawing this line between those two asset classes. And that division is something called the corporate veil. So if somebody sues your business, they can try and come after your business assets, but the LLC and the corporate veil are going to protect your personal assets so that they can't come after your home or your personal bank account. That is why an LLC is so important. Earlier, I mentioned something called piercing the corporate veil. And what this legal jargon means is if your business is sued, the attorney suing your business is going to try to find these cracks in your LLC. And if they can find a crack, they can pierce the corporate veil. When this happens, they can come after your business and personal assets. So that is why it is so important to not only set up an LLC, but you have to maintain it so that there are no cracks. I'd like to explain why the state site just isn't really good for maintaining your LLC, and I'm going to give you a few examples. A great service for setting up your LLC is a company called InkFile, which is an online legal tool. You'll find a link in the description below that will take you to their site, and we really appreciate when you use that link because it helps to support the YouTube channel. The reason I like InkFile is that they have packages starting at $0 plus the state fee. So with that package, you're also getting a really good perk, and that is you are getting a free registered agent service for a year. This is the very first reason why I prefer this site over the state site. So let's just dive into what a registered agent is. Every LLC is required to have a registered agent, which is sometimes called a resident agent, statutory agent, or agent for service of process. The registered agent must have a physical address in the state your LLC is set up. And this person is there to help you with important communication and documentation, such as franchise tax forms, notices of litigation, tax and legal correspondence, and required annual report forms. Basically, the registered agent helps keep your LLC in compliance. Now, if you go through the state website, they just are going to ask for the name and address of your registered agent without much context. If you go through InkFile, that service is free for the first year, and it's $119 annually after that, and you're free to change or drop the registered agent service at any time. Now, another reason I like InkFile is that the state website does not help you with the federal aspects of your business. So here's a really good example of this. Your LLC is set up through the state, but an EIN business tax number is set up through the IRS. You can think of your EIN as a social security number used to identify your business for tax purposes. So when you get set up through the state, they don't help you with your EIN at all. And if you've never set one up, it can be a little bit confusing. So that's why I like InkFile, because in the middle tier package, they'll set up your EIN for you. I'll also include a link in the description below if you want to do your own EIN setup on the IRS website. I also want to highlight that they'll set you up with a business bank account. This is really important to do from the beginning, and here's why. So not only does it make your bookkeeping and your accounting way cleaner and easier for your business, but you should also know if you are going to run your business through your personal checking account, you are commingling funds. That's because you have your personal cash flow and then you have your business cash flow all happening in the same account. This can create a crack in your LLC, which could lead to an attorney piercing the corporate veil and then being able to come after both your business and personal assets. So InkFile takes these things into consideration where the state website just sets up your LLC. The nice thing with InkFile is that your dashboard helps you to not only set up your LLC, but to maintain it and keep compliant with annual reports or forms that need to be filed as well. On the screen here, you'll see a video that goes further into the dashboard and what it looks like after setting up your LLC. There will also be a video on how to pay yourself with an LLC. Again, thank you so much for using the links in the description below, and I'll catch you in the next video.